Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is James Newell. I teach people how to sell, and in these videos we look at how to find, engage, close and follow up your clients, as well as understanding the psychology of your buyer. In this particular video we're looking at sales mistakes, and more specifically sales mistakes that you might make when following up. So let's get straight into it. Mistake number one is you probably follow up too soon. Now, there's no hard and fast rule for this. There's not a certain amount of time that you should let elapse, but depending on the clients that you're dealing with, following up the next day or even a couple of days' time might be too soon, might be too pushy. You've got a need to close that person and get the money and do the deal. I totally understand that, but we have to recognize that buyers work on their time frames, not ours. So our urgency to close a deal is not their urgency to close a deal. So when you feel like you really want to chase somebody up, but it's been a very short amount of time and it's far too soon for you to do so, take that energy and do this. I call it don't chase them, replace them. So take the energy that you're going to expend following up those people, potentially too soon, and use that to find more people, to get more people into your pipeline, open up more conversations, because when you have more options, there's less pressure. So the first mistake is you're probably following up too soon, and you can temper that with don't chase them, replace them. So park them for a little bit, go and speak to some new people, get some new people into your pipeline, then worry about coming and following those people up. So that's mistake number one. Sales mistake number two when it comes to following up people is you bring nothing to the table whatsoever. Did you get my message? Did you get my email? Have you read my proposal? Are you ready to buy? We have all these kinds of excuses, reasons to follow people up, but ultimately we just want to know if we can have their money yet. One of my favorite ones is, of course, the classic, did you get my email? I've been having some IT problems. We've all had that done to us, and one or two of us may have used that as well in the past. The fact is, if you're following somebody up, you need to bring something of value to them, because more often than not, they got your message, they've had a look at the quote, they don't have any questions, that's why they've not come back to you. So if you need to follow somebody up to ask if they've got your email, if they've got your quote, if they've got any questions, the conversation is going to be very short-lived because there's just no real value there. There's nothing there. So when you're following people up, look for a reason to follow them up that's going to leave them better than when you found them. How can you lead with value here? How can you give them something of value, whether it's a tip, a recommendation, a website, I don't know, something that's going to be of value to them, relevant in the context of what they might be buying from you. Because trust me, if you're following people up with, did you get my email? Oh, it's been a few days now, are you okay? Got any questions? You're not really leading with value, and the conversation isn't going to go anywhere. And the fact is, if somebody hasn't come back to you after a good deal of time and you're just going to follow them up by saying, did you get my message? They're either not interested or it's not a priority for them. And either way, you should go back to what I just mentioned, which is don't chase them, replace them. Don't be so concerned with closing down people and either I close you or you close me and all this zero-sum game nonsense that you may have heard of. Speak to new people. Get more people in your pipeline, open up new opportunities, and only follow people up when you've got something worthy of note to speak with them about. So that's sales mistake number two, just not leading with any kind of value and asking just banal questions and the same boring things that we always get. Did you get my email, etc.? It just doesn't work. The final one, sales mistake number three when it comes to following people up, is you don't get the message. Now this has happened to me more often than I'm comfortable with, and I'm pretty sure it's happened to you too. LinkedIn in particular is pretty bad for this. So somebody will connect with you, they'll instantly send you a sales pitch. That's pretty much the standard now. It doesn't really offend me anymore. But then I won't respond to that. Then you get follow up and follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. You'll get like 7 or 8 follow-ups. 7 or 8 different outreaches from them. I've had other people then jump across onto email and other mediums to try to follow me up. Guess what? Take the hint. If you sent me 7 messages and I've not responded to a single one of them, and you had to bet money on whether or not I'm going to buy from you or not, where do you think the probability lies here? Because if I've not come back to you at all, I'm either not interested, it's not a priority, or I might have died. Something very serious has happened. Because that many follow-ups to get no response whatsoever, you just need to take the message. This person is not interested. They don't want to have to take the time or face the confrontation of saying, thank you, James, but I'm not interested. the way most people deal with this is they'll just ignore you and hope that you go away. And you know this is true because when you're on buy yourself and somebody's hounding you, you'll probably do that too. You'll probably not respond to them and just hope they disappear and go away. You're not necessarily going to mail every person, oh, I'm really not interested, thanks ever so much. You're not going to engage in conversation, spend your time doing that. So you'll behave like that as a buyer. So when you're a seller, you've got to behave the same way. So sales mistake number 3 from following up is that not taking the message, not realizing that no response whatsoever after 5, 6, 7, 8 or more outreaches is a good indicator that the person is not interested. It's not a priority, but more importantly, you should go and don't chase them, replace them. Go and get more people to talk to, more people in your pipeline, more opportunities. So those are the 3 main sales mistakes that I see when it comes to following up people. If you've got something that you want to add, please put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your horror stories of the things that you've had happen to you. I could name a few, I could tell you. So thank you very much for watching this video. Before you go, I do have a question for you. Do you fear, hate, or avoid selling? It's very, very common to not feel comfortable selling, to think it's this macho zero-sum game, either I close you or you close me and this kind of stuff. If you feel like that, I've got a digital book that I've created, which should appear probably here. There you go. It should appear here. Scared to Sell. If you go to scaredtosell.com, it's a very simple to digest digital book. It'll talk you through the reasons why you don't like selling, and more importantly, some actionable strategies you can use to overcome your fear of selling once and for all. So that's it for another video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.